Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to continue our work on Magic Trail, uh, our theme park. Today there's going to be lots of decorating of a roller coaster. We finished our work over there, and a little bit more stuff by the side that just needs filling in. Then we've got, I'd say, about like 1/3 of the main area done. There's still lots more to do, but well, it's gonna be done. So there's also going to be also going to drive with a coaster today. So if you're looking forward to that, stay tuned. Um, right now they're just putting some greenery everywhere. It's pretty boring to be honest, but I mean, it really does change everything, the whole ambience of a place, how it looks. It's really a big it's a game changer, one could say. It makes the whole place look way more alive and even way cooler to just drive through with a roller coaster. Because without these stones, the grass and so on just wouldn't be that fun. And if you think about it, in a real park, there's like every little corner is decorated with something, and it needs to be that way. Otherwise, it just doesn't look that good. Right here, I'm putting a personality thing in a personal. How do you say it? Wait, give me a second. Yeah, well, a staff room for the whole staff of the park. Because until now, I just didn't have one, and I started to see like my shop workers didn't work anymore. They needed a pause. My the roller coaster was broken down. I fixed it. I put some of everything back. So actually, the park actually works properly. I also maybe need to expand the queue of a roller coaster. It's pretty short right now, but I didn't plan too much. I should probably plan it more ahead in the future. But as you see at the end of that episode, I already decorated it. Right here, it's gonna be like a little area where you can just go there, sit down, um, building the building next to it with some shops in them, where you can actually get something to eat, to drink, and so on. The building's gonna have a tower. It's gonna look very nice. I'm also gonna do a garden in front of that later on. Um, but right now, I'm just going through the color palette with these houses. It's basically the same type of house, just a little bit different colors. But I quite like it. I think you can't change the houses too much. Just doesn't look that cool if you have to. If the houses all look way too different, they just don't fit. Then I mean there are some themes where they can look pretty different. Like if you're building some kind of sci-fi theme area or so, but not in like a main theme. They should all have the same style and look a bit alike, but not too much. Because then they just look like copies. Try to give them all like a different size, a different color, a different structure, a different feeling, but still being kind of the same. See the same thing if you like go go to holiday on an area that's pretty old, like in some old cities and so on. Most of the buildings out of the same era just look the same, with like some few differences because they were the same. It's especially clear if you go somewhere like the Alps or so. These Alpine style buildings just literally the same over and over again, with some difference in the woodwork and so on. And it literally does make the difference between just being copies of each other and actually looking nice, having an ambience. So yeah, finally some place to sit for the guests. It was instantly filled over there. Um, now we are just driving the coaster. I don't know if I should be quiet during that part, but I'm just gonna talk about the layout a bit, I guess. Uh, I quite like it. It's pretty compact for what I usually build. I mean, it isn't the most compact, of course, but I think it's pretty standard. It isn't too something too special. Even the launch element, the second launch may be something that you wouldn't see everywhere, but it's just like a little booster, so you actually have enough speed to go through the whole thing. if I made the first parts faster, it would have been way too far than I should put. I would have to have put a big hill in there. Now the biggest hill is all the way at the end, but I mean, it still works. You're driving through like this mountainous area. I want it to be. One could take a theme for the next coasters, but this should be like a standard area, so it's also going to be standardly themed coaster. That's what I decided, and that's what I stayed by. So let's hear back to time lapsing. I don't know how I did that transition so well. I'm always like looking at the video while I'm recording this part, while just speaking over it. But these two clips were literally recorded on different days, and I moved the camera a lot in between them. So I don't know how this ended this well, but I guess I'm not the one who's gonna complain about it. Um, yes. Now we're gonna create this little garden area in front of there because I saw there's a lot of free space. I could have put another building there, but I thought it wouldn't fit that well, so I just spent lots of time putting this um putting this garden down. I mean, something that wasn't there before in the area, something missing, and there isn't really much space in the queues to do some interesting stuff. So I just gotta do it with the space I have. So as you're gonna see, I'm gonna put some water elements in the middle. I quite like how it turned out, but yeah, what I want to say, what I forgot. So yeah, put the statue up here. I wasn't quite sure about the statue, but the rest definitely fits. The statue may be a bit peculiar for this area, but I mean, probably just tell me what you think about it in the comments. And I quite like how this turned out as well. It isn't that visible though if you're on the ground, but especially if you like the camera like building angle and so it does make a big difference. Also started to put some vines into the onto the buildings. I'm gonna do it to the first two buildings as well because I've kind of forgot to do it, but it makes such a big difference on how the building looks, and it's really easy to do. I don't know how I did not come up with that earlier. But yeah, right now I'm just filling some dead spaces that I thought would maybe look ugly if you actually look at them properly. Put some more detail everywhere, especially on that house, cause probably gonna do it on most of the buildings, cause they look pretty bland. But yeah, I wanna put a fence down so nobody can actually go on the roller coaster. I mean, one kind from all the other sides, but just for the fence might fit there. And it did. I'm just gonna start decorating this queue. I'm not quite sure about that. Um, as a whole, I'm not quite sure about what I built there. It's just like starting to become a bit repetitive. Maybe if you have some ideas, you can just write them down in the comments. But we're already done with the video, so I hope you